Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of ChemKid. Today I'm going to be showing you this really cool project back here, but not specifically this part, that's coming in a later video, but I'm going to be showing you the parachute development for my new project, the Atria project. Alright, I'm going to be showing you the development of this parachute right here. It is 100% nylon, it's made of ripstop nylon, we have paracord, and also the thread is all nylon. It is an ellipsoid shape, and it is around 8 feet in diameter when inflated. Alright, to start this project off, I got some orange and white ripstop nylon from my local fabric store. This stuff is strong and it's light, it'll work well in our rocket. And next we had to make a template for each of the sections, and this was way harder than it looks. So when you're making a parachute like this, you have a couple different options. The first one is you get a flat piece of material and you just cut it into a circular shape. And this is kind of like a lot of them are when you buy them. And this works great for, small model rockets, and it seems to have no problem at all. But when you get into this high power rocketry, you start to make different decisions based off of cosmetics and drag and all sorts of stuff like that. So basically there are these flat parachutes, but then there are also these parachutes that have a curvature in them, and those are going to produce more drag, which will slowly rocket down, but they also look way cooler and way more realistic, so that's partially the motivation behind this. So the interesting thing where this comes into play with mathematics and stuff is look at my hat here. My hat has triangular sections, but they're not just triangles. You see, each triangle has a curvature to it, and that is what gives it its spherical shape. If it didn't have a curvature to it, you would have basically just a flat, circle, octagon, pentagon, some sort of weird shape, but either way, that would be two-dimensional, and that's exactly why we're doing this with the curvatures, is so that way we get a dome shape, just kind of like my hat here. So unfortunately, getting this curvature in the triangle template that we're making is going to be really difficult. What we ended up doing is looking around the internet to see if anybody's done this before, and it turns out a few people have, but there's not really good documentation on it, and a lot of the websites are really hard to follow when they explain how to make these gores. Each section of the parachute is called a gore, by the way. There are links to every website and everything I looked at to build this in the description, so if you'd like to make something like this, go check it out. It's all free, and none of it's mine, but that's okay. We ended up downloading an application that allows you to put in dimensions of your main parachute, and then it will break it down into each gore, how big that needs to be. It was pretty hard to actually get this onto cardboard. We had to go inch by inch and mark out every single mark, and we took 3 hours trying to figure out just how to do it. But after we got the template, then everything started to work. So we ended up just taking this template onto our fabric, and then we just marked out where we were going to cut. We originally tried to do this, what you see here. We tried to fold it and do 2 at a time, but this didn't work because we were going to use a soldering iron to cut it, and it fused the layers together. After I had every gore marked out, I went with the soldering iron and a ruler to cut each piece out. This ended up working really well. It fused the edges together, so that way there was no fraying or jagged edges like you might get with scissors, and it just was a really clean process. And if you do this, I recommend using a soldering iron. After we had all 20 gores cut out, we lined them up and tried to see which pattern I liked best, and this is what I ended up with. And my grandma ended up actually sewing all of the parachutes, so huge thanks to Nana. Thanks, Nana, for helping me sew that, and then we just started rolling on this project, and we spent a couple hours just sewing and getting everything put together, and it turned out pretty good. this, you know?
It's a formal.
Yeah. Wear this to prom. Alright, so we had our parachute constructed, just the main frame of it, and then we started laying out these paracord lines, and the paracord is way overkill. It should be thinner, but I couldn't find anything thinner, and we were on a little bit of a time crunch. So here is how we ended up doing our chute line. We ended up cutting out 20-foot sections with a hot knife to fuse them, and then those were turned into a loop, which were attached to the parachute frame. So after we had the parachute, completely finished, we went to do some tests. Big thanks to Sequim Community Church for allowing us to throw it off of their catwalk. It's like the tallest building we could find that we had access to. So big thanks to Sequim Community Church. We ended up throwing it off with a 10-pound weight and a 5-pound weight. We started with the 5 and then moved up to the 10. It wasn't quite tall enough to fully open, but I think it worked enough. Here's the footage from that. Hey guys, we're testing the parachute today at church. We're gonna go over there and we're gonna chuck it off the catwalk. Yeah.
Are you filming? Are you more likely to have
You should go to that one and drop it this way.
I'm just trying to figure out how to...
Because then you can't drop it on anything.
So my plan is to lower that over there, hold on to the top, and then let go.
I am. You are.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Getting those gains. Maybe we'll have roof clearance.
That'd be exciting.
We'll see.
Yep.
He's checking roof clearance. If so, that's a bit higher.
Yep.
That's what we want.
What's the verdict? We doing catwalk still?
The catwalk is higher
Yeah.
by a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try that one again.
Cool.
Maybe I'll throw it different.
Okay.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. That one's definitely faster, too fast for it to open up yet. But yeah. Well, I guess that's what we can get. Well, it is opening up, and that's really what I wanted to test. So.
This is for rocket?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose the tallest spot in Squin. Yeah.
All right. That's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. There's always links to everything about how to make a parachute on your own down in the description. In case you're wondering, this is a lot cheaper than buying one, and that's why I did it. If I were to buy one, there are a few companies out there, but I'd be running around like $350 to $400. Whereas this project, this particular parachute, only cost me like $110. So there's a big price difference, but rocketry isn't super cheap. So stay tuned if you want to see what this all entails. I'm going to be updating you on this project as we go along. Big thanks to Sequim Community Church for letting me throw it off their catwalk. Big thanks to my grandma for helping me sew it. And big thanks to you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. That's it for today. Bye.